All right, let's get real when it comes to investing, please. All right, so this is a good email, and it's going to sound like I'm bashing my man. I'm absolutely not bashing this guy. He asked me a question. I gotta lay the foundation for my brother from Maine because he's a Mainer, and us Mainers we're smart. We're smart cookies. I just think he's overlooking something here, and that's okay. That's okay. That's what we're here for. Not bashing my man. All right, we're gonna call him Johnny. Johnny on the spot. He goes, "Hey Josh, another Mainer here. Love your videos. I think I've seen them all. Johnny, you've seen all 7,000 videos I've done. All 7,000. Just goofing you. Recently retired CPA, can you do a video discussing the risk of having too much in bonds in a market that's doing well? If you have you got $1 million with a 60-40 split and the market goes up 10% versus 4% of the bonds, don't you miss out on 400,000 times 6%? All right, and the answer is yes, you do. So let's just use some basic numbers here. All right, so we're gonna say we're gonna have 1,000,000 schmackaroonies. All right, because Johnny on the spot he's from Maine. He's rich. He knows everything, and he's beautiful. He probably has bright green eyes like me. Super chat, super chat. So we got 600,000 in stocks at 10%. We got 400,000 in bonds at 4%. All right. So we just take our handy dandy notebook, and that 600,000 stocks grows to 660,000 bucks. We made 60,000 schmackaroonies in stocks. That 400,000 in bonds made 16,000 bucks. So combined was 76,000 schmackaroonies. So in this case, the bonds gave us 4,000 bucks on 400,000. Stocks gave us $10,000 on 600,000. 60,000 gain, 16,000 gain. We add them together, we got $76,000. Even my CPA in Maine can figure that one out. I'm just goofing on you, Johnny. Please don't get. All right, so now the question is, well, what if we had it all in stocks? Because that extra $400,000 would have given us a 10% instead of 6%, i.e., an opportunity cost of being in bonds. All right, so we just take $1,000,000, we have it all in stocks. $1,000,000 all in stocks at 10% means we have 100,000 bucks. So the opportunity cost here was the difference between 100,000 and 76,000, which is 24,000 bucks. That's it. So all of this for 24,000 bucks. Now he's making a mistake, not him specifically, but a lot of people make the mistake here. But anyway, 24,000 bucks. Whoop-de-flippin' do, in my opinion, if you're retired. You're really going to say, I got to be all stocks. I don't want to miss out on $24,000. But the problem with that, let me just share with you some fact. Let's see if Vanguard still has a study. Hold on a second. Let me see. Hold on just a second. Let me see if I hang tight. Find this Vanguard article, but I can't. It looks like they've taken it down. But this is from my book, Relax and Retire. I show you this right here with the markets. And what you'll see here is the average market return is 10.55. The average market return is 10.55. But only, it was like 8% of the time or something like that. Let's see. Only, let me get my spectacles on. Returns fall within 2% of the average. So between 8.5 and 12.5, only 7 out of 96 years. All right, so basically 8% of the time, roughly 9% of the time, have returns fallen within 2% on either side of the 10%. So what my man, what do you say, Johnny on the spot, is missing here is that the markets really don't, the stock market doesn't give us 10% on a regular basis, or very often, as a matter of fact, it just doesn't. The drawback about being in bonds isn't that you're going to miss a 10% market, because if you just miss a 10% market, say, Johnny on the spot, who cares? We're missing 24,000 bucks in retirement. That's not what you're going to miss. What you're going to potentially miss is 25%, and that's a big deal. So now we say 400,000, 25%, that's 100,000 bucks. So that's $84,000. All right. So if the market goes up 25% and your bonds are only, so it's simple. We take $400,000 at 25%, that's 100,000 bucks. $400,000 at 4% is $16,000. That's the difference right there. And that's what people get. People are like, oh man, I shouldn't have been bonds. I'm only getting 4 and the market went up 25. What they fail to remember though, and I don't know what this guy's financial back, I don't know if he's got a pension or anything like that, is not only does the market give, but the market can take. And so what we'll see here is the downsides that we have here too. Massive downsides. And a lot of people forget. You know the market in 1987 was up? Interesting, is it not? You know the market in 2020 was up. Do you know that the market in 2018 was only down like 4.5%, but Q4 of 2018 was down 19.5? Do you know when like 2011, 2015, the market was up, even though we had massive declines in the market during that time? 2003, the market started off pretty negatively too, the Q1 of 2003, and it was down. And it was up for that year, I should say. 2008, 2009, the market was up that year, and guess what? The beginning of 2009 was a freaking clusterfuck. So a lot of people forget that. There's lots of ebb and flows. JP Morgan did it. I'm sure they still do it. I haven't seen it for a while. I think I might even have it in this. I probably don't. But anyway, the tops to bottoms of the markets throughout the years average like 14%. The peaks and the troughs, whatever it's called, on any given year is about 14% top to bottom. So any given year, he can be down 14% in the market. And that's why I have the bonds, because, well, it's like, oh man, the opportunity cost of missing the upside. There's significant downside risk too. Even though you look at, well, history shows that the market's only down once every 4 years or so. That's true from 1 January to 31 December, but it's not true if you actually look at the day to day, and that's all that matters. What's your day to day ability to hang tight with that? It's not very high, I've seen, especially for retirees, especially those without a pension. Anyway, good question, Johnny. I know I'm bashing. I'm just giving you a hard time. All right, love to hear your thoughts. God bless. We'll see you.